I'm back for the final week of the earnings all-stars, and it's Nvidia. That's all we really care about this week, but there are some other stocks that will be reporting as well that you should be watching, so I'm going to have a second video on those. But for this one, it's just Nvidia. It's all anyone is talking about. Let's take a look at the chart. Let's take a look at what's happening with those earnings estimates and why Nvidia is a Zacks number 3 hold right now. Not surprising going into an earnings report to see the number 3, but let's dive right in. Okay, so as you can see, it's a Zacks number 3. And the style scores are rather interesting. We do have the A for growth. We do have an A for momentum. No one is surprised by the D for value because Nvidia is trading near its all-time highs again, and it hasn't been cheap in decades. So we're really not going to get the value there. But overall, when you add in the other two, you're getting a B on the VGM, and I like that. Now, most of us, as we know, are buying Nvidia for that growth component, and this earnings report will be interesting because we are coming off a rare miss last quarter. I think when I did this video last quarter, I was like, sure, they're going to beat again. But no, they did miss by 4.7%. So it wasn't just, a few pennies necessarily, but throughout the whole AI revolution period, it has been a beat and a raise, a beat and a raise. And the analysts have been trying to catch up with where Nvidia has been going. But now they have a little bit better handle on what is happening. Also, last quarter was before we found out they were able to ship to China again. So things could be a little bit different this quarter, and the analysts might have a little bit better handle on what to be looking for. But we're gonna take a look at that. Let's look at it now. So on the detailed estimates page on Zacks, if you scroll down, you'll see where the analysts are raising, cutting, all of that stuff into the earnings report. So this is the quarter over here. And you can see 3 estimates have actually been raised in the last 7 days, and nobody has been cutting. Some of that is also because Jensen Huang has kind of been out there ahead of this report, talking about the business. So I feel like the analysts are maybe getting a little bit better handle, and we probably will see a beat this quarter as a result, but we'll see. Usually the analysts only raise into the number if they're pretty certain that they need to be doing that. Otherwise, they're just going to wait and see what happens. But we've got the 3 higher. It has gone up a cent during the last 30 days. So that's not that big a deal, 99 cents or $1, but it could be the beat or the miss, just on the penny there. And then we got the full year up 2 cents in the last 7 days, as 3 estimates for the full year were also raised. We're also getting closer to fiscal 2027, I guess it is. And we've gotten 3 raises in the last 7 days there as well. And then you can see down here, 5-cent increase for next year. This is a nice little jump in between the years. We're getting a nice jump this year, $2.99 up to $4.28 for this fiscal year. That's 43% earnings growth. And then next fiscal year, looking very strong again, 33.2. Up to that 570. But take a look at this quarter, even just $1 expected versus 68 cents last year, which was still very solid for last year. That's 53.6% on the sales growth side. And then we're also seeing 53% for the full year. And then it drops down to 27 for next year so far. But 27% when you're already doing $200 billion in sales is just a tremendous earnings and sales growth rate. And I've said before, enjoy it while you can. We will never see this again with a company of this size. Small caps can do this kind of thing, but a large cap, $100 billion or more size company, increasing sales and earnings at this rate, we just will not see it again. So I'm living it up while I'm able to experience this during my investing lifetime. Okay, PE is at 41 now, but this is the more interesting aspect. The PEG ratio is just at 1.47. PEG of 1 or under does indicate values. So I'm liking that a lot. And remember, the PEG ratio is PE divided by the growth rate, but we just saw the PE at 41. While that's a little bit high, not too high historically for Nvidia, however, which has traded around the 40 times level for quite a number of years. But you have the earnings side growing at a much faster rate, even from what the stock is doing on the stock chart. Now let's look at the price consensus, and I'm going to throw in the earnings chart as well, because this is one of my favorite charts, all three in combination. And you can kind of see where the earnings, what that is looking like. So we knew it was going up here in 2023 when the AI revolution kind of began. And then they were beating and raising and beating and raising. And this is the period where many thought, oh, this revenue can't be right. They're lying. And then we got into 2024, a huge gain there. But you can see the earnings still trying to keep up. And the analysts uncertain if they could keep up this pace. And then we get into 2025. We had the Liberation Day sell-off, but we've had this rally now that we know that they are able to ship into China again. And the tariffs have been going into place so far, and it's not really having an impact on earnings for Nvidia, as you can see. And then this, just the wide nature of the earnings growth here is projecting that 53% and then the over 20% still to come in the future. This is the type of chart you want to see. So the only other question is, are the shares really extended here? I know some people getting nervous again now that we've had this nice big breakout, but we had a lot of consolidation in here, in almost a year's worth of consolidation, really, where the stock didn't go anywhere. And so valuations did get a lot more attractive, and then the growth side did not slow down. So I'm still a big fan of Nvidia here. And I still think people can buy it here, that there is more room to run still in the AI story. But we're going to find out this week exactly what's going on. And we'll see if the growth rate can continue at this very hot rate or not. But these are interesting charts and interesting days on Nvidia. And again, soak it in while you can. But I'm going to be watching it along with a lot of other stocks this week, as I mentioned. So be sure to tune in all week to my Twitter account, my stock twits. I guess it's X now. And also Blue Sky. I'll be tweeting out a lot of these charts, plus my other earnings all-star video, which has some interesting names on it as well, tech and retail. So be sure to tune in, and I'll see you again in the next video.